Hello everyone, welcome to a new process video. I am working in my TN about the books that I read, and the book I'm featuring today is called The Boleyn Inheritance by Philippa Gregory. And if you're a reader and you're interested in British history, you've probably heard of her. She's got a ton of books out, and there's kind of a series about the wives of Henry VIII, and this is one of them. And it predominantly deals with Anne of Cleves, but then also Jane Howard comes in. I found it fascinating. I've read a few other things by her, not a ton, but a few, and I really liked them. This is probably the one I liked the best. I just found it really interesting the way that she weaves in actual history and then kind of makes the characters come to life by kind of filling in conversations that happen between people and looking at their relationships. So I really enjoyed it. So if you're into that kind of thing, you'd probably really like this one. For the background on this one, I want to try to work in some of this kind of gold yellowy color, but then I've also got some blue peeking out here. I actually took this, and there's my cat, you can see, but there's blue in the background here because I just took it around the house. So I want to try to work that in as well. So I pulled out all of my book and reading related phrases, and I found two things in there that I think I want to use. I have this one, and both of these I actually made myself in the Project Life app. Here's one I have that says "Can't Stop Reading." I like it that it's a dark red and there is some red in here, so I think that will go nicely. And then I have this one that says "A real page turner." So true. The last quarter of this, I refused to go to bed until I finished it. So that was true. And it's gray, which kind of blends into this here, but is just different enough from the white that it'll stand out. So I think I want to work both of those in somehow. When I was going through my stash of papers, I like to use just bits and pieces, scraps that I have, rather than cut into new pieces of paper. At least when I work in my TN anyway. I came across this piece. Isn't this gorgeous? And I love it because it's kind of got some of that blue in there and the gold. It's very fancy, and it works well for the wife of a king, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to do that, but I can't just put it on there like that. Obviously I need to mat it. So I will probably do either gray to match this or white to match the background. I'm not sure, but I have that. And then I also found this little 2x2, I think it's 2x2 square, and I don't remember where this came from. If it came like that or if I cut it from another piece, I don't know. But I want to tuck it in somewhere because it has the blue in it and it has kind of this yellow. So I don't need a lot because it's quite bold, but I want to tuck it in so it's peeking out maybe somewhere. All right, I think this is generally how I'm going to lay this out, and looking at it like this, I wanted to see what it would look like. I still haven't decided if I want a gray or a white mat around this. So I'll figure that out as I go. But when I was working on this, I realized that in order to use all this, I have no room to journal. So this one's actually going to be a 2-pager. I was trying to keep them all to 1 page, but I do have a couple extra pages. Even if I meet my reading goal for this year, I'd be okay. And I really want to be able to talk about this one. So it's going to be a 2-pager. So predominantly this will be journaling, but I am going to have to probably find something, some fun embellishments, phrases, something that's going to go on this side. So I have decided to mat this on white, but then I found a gray strip that's pretty close to this one, and I think I'm probably just going to run it down the side like that, and maybe do some misting or add a red in somewhere or something. But I want to leave most of this for journaling, but it needs a little color, so I'm going to start with that. On this side, I think I'm actually going to take this and just put it pretty close to the bottom. Actually, I can hear that now. Then I will take this whole piece, get it where I want it, tuck this under, and figure out how to do the phrase labels on there. All right, I've adhered the background piece and the yellow square, not the red, because I'm not exactly sure that's just where I want it, but it'll be close. And then for this is too long. I need to cut off the ends. I don't need all of that. So once I have that trimmed, then I'll figure out the actual placement and I'll adhere it all to the page. All right, I have everything adhered that's on the left side of the page. Now I'm going to adhere the gray strip over here. And then I think I want to go back into my phrase labels and see if I have anything else in this red that might work. If I don't, I do have some stars. I have other little embellishments that are red that I could work in there. I'd love it if it were something reading related, but if I can't get that, I'll make do with what I can find. All right, well, when I went back through my phrases again, I found a bunch of red ones. Those didn't work, but I had this one in there burned through it, which is so true. So I definitely want to use this on the right side, and I think because this one's up here, I'm going to place this more towards the bottom. Again, I'll cut off the ends. I've got extra space there that I don't need, but I will put it somewhere down here. That gives me still a ton of room to journal, and then I'll figure out, do I want to stamp something? Do I want to fill in up here with those little embellishments I talked about? But at least this is a start. When I was looking through stuff I could use, I found these, and I really like these hearts. The color matches pretty well. So I'm going to use one of them. It's probably going to be the smaller one, but you never know, might end up being this one. But this one certainly seems more size to the page depending on, how I'm going to journal. So at least I have that. I'm still looking for something red to work in here, because I do think up here maybe to make a visual triangle, that would be a good idea. But we'll see how it goes. So I actually decided to use both hearts. I used the bigger one down here and the smaller one up there. And now I have pulled out my embellishment, kind of miscellaneous embellishment containers. This one, it's all things that don't have like phrases on them or where you could journal in them. It says get together, but it's empty where you could journal, and these are just plain. These all have words on them. So I'm not too thrilled about anything here because I don't know that I want it to have words. I think plain would be better. So I think I'm just going to go through here, definitely not these frames, and not coffee, to see what I can find. Hello. What about this? It's not exactly the right red, but it's kind of cool. It's an old time key to my heart, key to the kingdom. That might work here. What if I put it up here kind of at an angle, and then I would still have room for journaling? I kind of like it, but then I think, and now I need to work in some of this yellowy gold color too, so that everything carries over. But you know what? I'm liking the key. I'm going to keep that. When I went through the rest of the embellishments in here, I found this. This heart is kind of the perfect color, and I've got other hearts, so it goes. I did already glue down the key though. Now I'm kind of wishing I hadn't, so I may, when I fussy cut this, I may see if I can pull this up a little bit and tuck it under there somehow, because I think it would look better than trying to overlap it this way instead. So I'll cut it out and see what happens. When I tried to lift up the key, it did rip the paper a little bit in the back, so this is kind of all I could do with it. I couldn't do much else, or it would have made the rip worse. You can't really tell under there. It does lift up a little bit, but it's not bad. And so I just tucked this in as best I could. You can still tell it's a heart. You can definitely see the color. And you know what? I think this one is fine the way it is, because I'm just going to do massive journaling over here. So it doesn't need anything else. So here's another one done in my TN about books. Thanks for watching.